Imagine moving miles away from home just to find work after graduating. I want to tell you about one of my students, Stanley. He was fresh from a software engineering degree. He entered the reality we all faced, starting a new career. Lost, anxious, confused, you name it. He was even struggling with interviews, barely making it past technical stages. Because what they teach you at university is not the same as what interviews and hiring managers require. He eventually ended up going back to the company he did a placement for while he was at university, which wasn't bad until he realized he was stuck using outdated tools that would get him nowhere in his career. But thankfully, 2 months later, he managed to squeeze another job offer. But yet again, there was another problem. It was in Reading, miles away from his home in Manchester. This is the distance between Manchester and Reading, and you can see how long it takes you on Google Maps. Despite that, he was left in a position where he had to take it because he knew he would still struggle in interviews and still go through that same dilemma of being in the job market. But the story doesn't end there. For a while, he followed Hamid's journey, one of our other students, by the way, the youngest DevOps engineer in, I would say the market, but the market is big enough, right? But the youngest DevOps engineer nonetheless, who's a senior right now, right? So he was following his journey on LinkedIn, and he was left quite in awe, right? Stanley was left quite in awe seeing this young person's journey without a degree. And mind you, Stanley had a software engineering degree. This will shock him, of course. A young person who has no degree, who's making crazy moves in the market. So naturally that inspired him to take the same journey Hamid did by joining Coda.co. And I want you to really understand this. We take every student at Coda.co seriously. No one is left struggling on their own. This alone is one of the things that I genuinely believe makes Coda.co different. There were two specific areas we wanted to help him with that he previously struggled. Number one, of course, is the fundamentals. Without the fundamentals, you're always going to struggle in interviews. And the second thing is the interviews themselves. So we gave him the confidence he needed for these interviews by prepping him through much harder mock interviews, right? Our mock interviews are harder than the actual market. And the reason we do that is the same reason why when you're doing, your exams, the real exams are usually easier than the mock exams. And that is to mentally prepare you. And on top of that, he was given these mock interviews by principal engineers. And within 5 months, he received a cloud engineering role back home in Manchester. So getting that confidence back allowed him to finally continue his career that he actually enjoys and loves doing. But the market was just too tough and not allowing him to continue. Now the question in everyone's mind, how was he able to do it? That's why next week, 6th of May 2026, we're breaking it all down live. A free workshop on the exact systems that took Stanley from struggling in Reading to thriving in Manchester, where he lives. So if you want the link to sign up to this free workshop, just comment Stanley down below or DM me Stanley and I'll send you the details.